Hello listeners. We are back today with another righteous rant from Bonnie. This is a more serious episode, so prepare yourself, and it is audio only. There will also be minimal editing. I don't want to cut out anything important. Please enjoy.
Welcome back to a podcast called I Hate That Shit, a podcast about hating shit and loving life. Today I'm your host. This is me, Bonnie. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Liz isn't here today. I'm just gonna do a solo one. It's been another one of those rants that I feel like I need to get off my chest. It's with all the bullshit going on in our world today. This one is going to be called Ruling Class Criminals / Elites. I mean, the ruling class in this country is out of hand. So let me break it down for you. The meaning of ruling class, okay? The ruling class of a society is the social class who set and decide the political and economic agenda of a society. And we know here in America, they are called politicians. We, the people in the United States, have an inequality problem in our nation. I'm talking about the ruling class in our country. The ones who are too wealthy to think that the rules and laws in our country that hopefully make us a civilized society, but lately it doesn't seem like we're too civilized. But anyway, they think that the rules and the laws in our country don't apply to them. Yeah, right. They're right, actually, because if you have money, it's easy to get out of the shit you've found yourself in, But the ruling class elites, they work through an economic system of capitalism, such as corporate fraud, insider trading, and unethical practices that have allowed the wealthy to accumulate vast fortunes while exploiting the poor and vulnerable. Basically, it's the working class, the people who are houseless, not homeless, houseless. They don't have houses because they have no help whatsoever. And we see all these corporations just keeping the money for themselves. But anyway, so they accumulate vast fortunes while exploiting the poor and the vulnerable. The whole system is based on the exploitation of the working class, leading to ever-increasing poverty of others. The minimum wage is $7.25 and has been since 2009. That's the minimum wage, y'all. That doesn't even get you an apartment. That don't get you much. Even if you're working 40 hours, it don't get you much. But yet then we have these CEOs of Twitter, Facebook, Google, all of them raking in billions of dollars from corporate tax breaks, loopholes, everything they can find to accumulate their vast amount of wealth. While rent's gone up, groceries gone up, interest rates have gone up, everything has gone up, but our wages, no. Minimum wage, no. Can't even believe it's $7.25 in the year 2023. That's ridiculous. And there's still some places around the country that only pay their servers $2.13 an hour plus tips. Really? It's out of hand, people. The values, as far as I'm concerned, the values of capitalism are criminal values. And by what I mean by that is the aim of a capitalist society is to amass as much money and wealth that you can. Don't get me wrong. I wish I was wealthy too, man. I mean, all of us out there, wish we didn't have to live from paycheck to paycheck or worry if something happens to us, that if we're going to have enough money to pay for our broken leg, get some stitches, or our car gets hit, or we maybe not have enough money to do that. And then you're fucked on that hand, because then how do you get to work if you don't have no car? But anyway, I'm getting off track. Yeah, of course, all of us wish we were wealthy, but the wealthy are the ones who accumulate the money and wealth and power. irrespective of how much harm it's done to other people, meaning working class people, poor, and the vulnerable people in our society that needs our help. So this encourages the wealthy to engage in crimes of the elite, such as corporate politicians, bribery scandals, embezzlement. I mean, it leads to an abuse of power and illicit connections. And since they can get away with it, why not? Why not? If you have enough money, you can possibly get away with it. Nowadays in our society, it seems that the laws don't seem to apply to everybody on the same scale, which is bullshit. But if you have enough money, you can get out of trouble. That is why this ruling class, criminals, elites, whatever you want to call them, are a scourge on society. I mean, they are who. You tell me this. Who are the real criminals? The employer paying poverty wages, or the worker trying to feed his or her family? I mean, it's really not a hard choice, is it? These ruling class criminals, elites, they go by rocket ships that look like dicks to stroke their own egos when they could. We have a starvation issue in the world, and it really doesn't need to be that way. But, rich people are not going to give you their money. They want to keep adding more fees, more this, more that, just to accumulate more wealth. And the thing about it is, we keep letting them. We keep letting them get away with this. Because if you have enough money, you can get away with it. So the media is also manipulated by the elites. Get this. 8 corporations own all the media in America. 8 corporations. So what they're feeding us on the news channels, newspapers, print, whatever, it's all the same bullshit. If you want to know what's going on, then do your critical thinking. Look at seek the truth. Seek the truth. Seek outside information. But make sure it is the truth, and facts do matter. 8 corporations own all the media in America. Comcast, AT&T Warner, Disney, CPB, which is the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, Verizon, Google, News Corp, which is Fox, Lord have mercy, Viacom. Listening to the media makes you think that the homeless people are to blame for their own situation. That old pull yourself up by the bootstraps bullshit. Sorry, I can't. I don't have a pair of boots. I mean, seriously, that's what they go by. That's what they say, why they keep accumulating all this wealth and choose not to share it. But then if they want to commit crimes to amass more wealth, more fortune, they do it at the expense of everyone else who isn't rich and powerful. Seriously, it's really, really bad. Who are the criminals? Seriously, who are the criminals? All of us need to be asking this at a local, state, and federal level. When the ruling class makes laws that only benefit them at the expense of everyone else, what is the working class to do? I'll tell you what we need to do. Vote out all of those motherfuckers that choose to do harm to their fellow human beings. Because the only way they stay in power and keep continuing to do harm is by consent. Do you hear that? By consent. And the only way we change the structure in America that benefits all of us is by voting. Let your voice be heard. Don't vote against your best interest. Vote for the people who are like-minded. If you think that politician, congressman, senator, governor, local councilman feels the same way you do, then have at it. But I'm telling you guys, it only keeps on happening because of consent. Pay attention, folks. Pay attention. 60% of the population of the United States participates in the workforce. And the very rich, I'm talking the 1.0.1%, they govern the U.S. And most people don't perceive this as the truth of the dominance because of ideology. Ideology is what's getting us in a lot of trouble. It's just like, what, we can't share the same space and disagree? I mean, come on, people. We're supposed to be the United States of America. But I think it's so stupid when you prioritize profits over ethics. You leave a trail of devastation in its wake. I think it's so shameful. It's shameful that we actually have to deal with this at this stage of the game. And of course, if you're keeping up and keeping score, you know where inequality is. You know what's happening in America right now. You know laws are being trampled on. You know some people have to be held accountable. But that's the thing. Oh, well, let's not, because, it would be bad for our country. I thought when you hold people accountable because of what they've done wrong, especially if you're rich, you should be held accountable, because Lord knows, if it was me, or you, it wouldn't even matter. I'm telling you, I really hate that shit. And inequality has to be more than one's idea of what equality means to them. It has to be more than that. You just can't be like, well, I'm white and I'm rich, and so I got mine, so fuck you, you don't get yours. And I'll throw you a couple of crumbs, but you know what? They don't throw those crumbs. They don't throw those crumbs. And people are like, oh, yeah, I got a nice tax break. But yet here we are, not taxing the churches and taxing these big corporations. This country was built on the hardworking people of America, not this ruling class criminals. No way. They're only criminals and ruling class criminals and elites because we allow it. We have to stay focused, folks. As a black woman living in America, and it's hard to be black in America these days, I can say that if I had committed a crime like some of these folks in politics, law enforcement, etc., I would be put under the jail and remain there, no doubt. And we all know that's true. But if you're rich and white and have power and wealth, it's a breeze. You go in, you probably won't even get fingerprinted. And to me, that's a damn shame. Just because you have money, you get to be treated different. If you did the crime, then you should do the time. It's really that simple, But these ruling class people, if they weren't part of the ruling class elite, it wouldn't even be an issue, as I would be able to pay off whoever needs to be paid off to quash this as a non-issue. And everyone has their price. Everyone can be bought off. I used to say, oh no, not me. Oh no, not me. My morals, my integrity, nah. I do have a number, and I'm sure everybody else has a number too. But anyway, that's getting off topic. So everyone does have their price. As part of the ruling class, you have money, power, and prestige to get out of such ordeals. When access is easily obtained, as it is for the ruling class criminals / elites in our country, influence over our law enforcement, judiciary, media can help mitigate the consequences of their crimes, whether it be white collar crime or regular old crimes. There isn't much transparency because the media is always chasing a horse race. I don't understand that, but it's all about ratings, because at the end of the day, it's all about money. So if there was more transparency for us to see them being held accountable for their misdeeds, yeah, good luck with that, because they're not going to be held accountable. They don't think that they need to be held accountable. And I just really am not down with that. I'm really, this is a issue that really hits home inequality. One, because I'm a black woman and already have two strikes against me. One as a black and two as a woman. The rights that they're taking away from women cannot stand. And everyone needs to get out there and vote. I'm serious. We need to get out there and vote, because I think it's the thing that we all need to do. It's just one of those things. And if we don't get out there and do it, this shit is always going to keep happening. We're always going to be a disjointed country. I don't like that. I hate that shit. But good luck to the people who have no money, no family, or anyone to help them out. So they languish in jail with no one caring about their well-being or their justice. The ruling class elite class is only governed by what they can get away with. We have to hold ruling, wealthy, elite people to account. Right now, we have politicians who have committed some very serious crimes and have been indicted on those crimes, but still remain free. Still remain free. If it's some petty crime for an ordinary people, they would be in jail right now. I mean, I don't care if it's stealing a pack of gum or changing the wrong lane or not using your blinker. Cops are putting people in jail for that shit now. Yes. So trying to hold these wealthy elite people to account, some of these politicians have done some serious crimes, and you know who I'm talking about. We all know who I'm talking about. But anyway, stay informed about individuals who exploit their positions for personal gain. I'm just here pulling back a little layer of exposing some of the criminal, I don't know how to say it, criminal bad guys out there, the ruling elites, the criminal elites, the ruling class elites, however you want to say it. It's a real thing. But I think that we need to expose it so we can seek truth and justice for those who have been oppressed by the ruling class criminals. Because, we all live by the same set of laws. All of us live by that same set of laws. And here's a quote that I want to say. This one, I'm sure you guys have heard it. It's by Martin Luther King. He says, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." Amen, brother. And that's the truth. It bends towards justice if we get out there and we do what we're supposed to do. If we get out there and vote, if we get out there and let our voices be heard, that inequality in America has no place. We all share those same values of wanting to come home, to a family after a nice hard day's work, and you want to be paid for that hard work. You don't want to have to worry about your family being shot up just because people are gun crazy out there. I'm sorry, but I just don't see it. But we do all live by the same set of laws. We all have to remember that, because justice matters, and no one is above the law. Thank you for listening to my rant. I know it wasn't very long, but it was something I had to get off my chest. And as you know, don't let shit get you down. You're not alone. We're all in this shit together. Peace.